And switched to cooking. After months with Tempo, I got bored of eating the same.
Yes, I have decided to add Subway Surfer into Minecraft so that everyone will want to play Minecraft together. My first idea was to just have the player always playing Subway Surfer, so I coded this thing so that there are always 3 railroad tracks at your feet wherever you go. And then I modeled some subway cars and had them randomly generate on the tracks so you always have to be running and dodging. Although this is hilarious, I could not get through breaking a piece of wood without dying. So instead, I wrote some code to replace the major paths and villages with railroads, and now subway cars are always running full speed throughout villages. This is pretty bad for the villagers, but does mean that you get to roleplay the trolley problem. As a side note, since me and the trolley are the same size, the obvious solution is to just stop the trolley with my bare hand. It's so simple. Anyways, when you're in a village, you can now walk onto the tracks to play Subway Surfing. There are these normal subway cars, but also submissive subway cars, which stop when they see you, and dominant subway cars, which are wrapped in black leather and only stop if you beg. Please, please. If you stop a subway car with a block, you can open the door and walk in, which brings you to an actual subway. Here, instead of being a player, you're just a piece of bread. And as you pick up items, you'll become a sandwich. Minecraft doesn't have that much food, so this is a leaf, pork, carrot sandwich. I forgot to code an exit, so I threw in a Subway Sandwich Surfer to keep you entertained since you will be here forever. I also replaced the oceans with subway cars, which means you can go subway surfing. After I finished coding this, I had another revelation. TikTok is interesting because of the Subway Surfer, but you also need the Family Guy funny moments on top of it. So I made a second mod where Peter is always looking on top of your screen. And here's what that looks like in third person, or even in multiplayer. But I don't know anyone else in real life, so this is just me playing on 2 computers at once. I also added Temple Run to Minecraft, since it's basically the same game. And I'm going to be adding this guy's dad next video, so like and subscribe. I'll see you next time. I added low-income neighborhoods to Minecraft. In regular villages, they have pig pens and dedicated farms, but impoverished villages don't have enough money or space for that, so the livestock lives with the villagers. And instead of growing crops, they'll grow giant fungal infestations that will slowly take over their house and eventually their neighborhood. You'll be able to tell when a villager is from a low-income neighborhood because he'll have fungi sprouting from all of his orifices. But on the bright side, villagers will avoid them because there's nothing to pillage. And And you can shear a low-income villager for a mushroom, which you can eat to grow bigger. This will be super helpful against these piranha plants. But more importantly, I'm adding the top comment tomorrow, like and subscribe for that. I add
This is indium, the only element in the universe that is safe and soft enough to chew like bubblegum. I've had this lump of indium for years, but I've never taken a bite out of it until now. Actually, biting it wasn't as hard as I expected. It was kind of like refrigerated milk duds. It softened as it warmed up in my mouth, and as I chewed it, I could tell it was metal. I could feel the vibrations of the crystals twinning. It had absolutely no taste. Chewing it was like chewing bubblegum on a freezing cold day. You know, when you breathe in the cold air and the gum gets hard? It was almost softer than that. But it's probably not the best thing for your teeth, so don't do this at home. Oh, and by the way, it's also just soft enough to... Now, do y'all want to see some? This is in... This is indium, the only element in the universe that is safe and soft enough to chew like bubblegum. I've had this lump of indium for years, but I've never taken a bite out of it until now.
First of all, you're a dog for clicking on this video, but I'll give you what you came for. Here's a dirty Alex, here's a dirty dirt block, and here's a woman made literally out of dirty garbage. Only 20% of you are women, but I'm a diversity and inclusivity king, so here's a garbage man too. If you're grossed out, don't worry. My maid villager is cleaning up the screen so that I can introduce my dirty Minecraft mod, which, by the end of the video, is going to make this game disgusting. I've always thought those pimple-popping videos are kind of gross, so I started off by adding acne to Minecraft. If you jump into one of these new underground oil pools, the oil will clog your pores and make you break out into pimples. These pimples randomly hurt throughout the day, but will eventually pop on their own. You can also pop them one by one with arrows to speed up the process, but sometimes this will summon the new big pimple enemy, who is just kind of gross to fight. The oil liquid itself is flammable, and if you drink it, you'll get fire weakness, which is the opposite of fire resistance. It means if you touch fire, you'll explode. However, you can right-click rails with oil to make them slippery, which makes minecarts go much faster than they regularly would. If you have 2 or more buckets of oil, you'll summon an American raid, which feature new rideable bald eagles and heat-seeking missiles that explode on contact. Eagles and missiles can both fly, and so do these new flies. Buzz buzz. If you leave food on the ground, it will rot, which will attract flies. If you swat them away before they eat it, there's not really any harm done. But if a fly eats it, it'll get bigger and juicier, which is unpleasant if you try to swat it away. Food left in chests will also rot and attract flies, which will land everywhere and prevent you from opening the chest again. And if a fly eats a whole chest full of food, you can bet he'll become a big boy. What's even bigger though is this gooey splatter, which will also permanently stain any of the blocks it landed on. You might think you can prevent flies from getting into your food by putting a block over your chest, but I actually put little fly eggs all over your food already, so when you reopen your chest, this will happen. Even if you don't eat food, you'll still have to deal with these house flies in your home. And even if you're always on the road, traveling and exploring with someone like your trusty horse, you'll still have to deal with these horse flies. If you saw something like this in real life, you'd probably scream. So I added lungs to Minecraft to let you properly scream.
Weekday mealtime. You need something fast and delicious and affordable. Hey, that new taco spot.
Probably scream. So I added lungs to Minecraft to let you properly scream. Steve's insides are being used to store what's in his inventory, so I had to put his lungs outside of his body. Having them exposed like this is obviously pretty scary, so you're going to want to give it some armor to protect it. This does mean that my mod isn't compatible with mods that let you go into outer space, since everyone knows that your lungs pop instantly in space. So to make up for it, having lungs means you can now press I to suck other players towards you, and also suck in any of the mobs around you. You can also press O to breathe out, which makes you blow everything away. If you blow really, really hard, you can even make the leaves fall. I also added dust, which, if you breathe in, will make you do this coughing animation. If you don't go back to your house for a long time, everything will be dusty and you'll have to wipe it off. And some blocks, like your chests, will have become dust. There will also be these dust bunnies, which disappear on hit, which means I might as well add dust zombies and every other dust mob. As you walk around your world, all this dust combined with the dirt and grime that's already in Minecraft will get on your clothes, and even you'll get dirtier and dirtier. When you walk on clean blocks like quartz, you'll get cleaner, but you'll leave a trail of dirt. As you can see here, the more you walk, the dirtier your floors will get, and you'll have to hire these maid villagers to clean them up. If you can't afford that, you'll have to manually replace them all, which is actually a good way to farm dirt. Speaking of dirt, you can now build dirt golems like this, and if you shear them, they'll become dirt girl lungs. Since Valentine's Day is coming up, you can give them a flower to make a baby dirt block, which will eventually grow up to become a regular dirt block. And you can use dispensers to automate this whole thing, which creates a dirt farm and finally adds renewable dirt to Minecraft. Being dirty isn't really a problem for me because I really like showering, which has actually led to some egregious water bills. But what I really hate is taking out the trash, which is why I added garbage men to Minecraft. To make them useful, I made it so that dropped items no longer despawn and will instead stay on the ground forever. This can get laggy pretty quickly, so you're gonna want to put items in these new garbage bags instead. Every Thursday, these new garbage men will come into your home and take your garbage bags, and they'll put them in this garbage truck. Garbage men will stop you if you try to jump into the truck, but if you put yourself in a garbage bag, they'll take you and you'll end up in the garbage dimension. Here, everything is made out of garbage, and all you can eat is the fly meat from these flies. There are also these plastic bags flying around that can suffocate you if they land on your head. But if you manage to catch one by just hitting it out of the air, you can use it to paraglide your way across the toxic waste ocean, and eventually get back into the overworld. You'll notice, though, that the overworld looks a little different, and that's because I made all the clean blocks dirty. Stained glass has become really stained glass. There's dirt and mysterious liquid on all the wood and stone bricks. There's needles laying around everywhere. And the sand in the desert has become gross and brown, which has made the surrounding cactus start to rot.